Hello, my name is Krzysztof Golasik. I work for Cilio for around 1 year. And my today topic is how to preview doc and PDF files in browser. You might imagine things like previewing files in your website. You know this probably from like Google Drive or maybe OneDrive, that you click your file on interface and it's previewed on your website. Basically, I consider that may be very hard to do, but it turned out that it's very easy. But also it might have some complications to it. All right. So basically, there are a few solutions for it. One and the most supported, I think, is the InlineBidding. Basically, you just place iframe and pass URL, direct URL to your file into SRC parameter. So basically, you're just using typical browser support to preview your file. But the bad thing is it's only working for PDFs. But I would say it's very useful because it's native support for it. And there's no file size limitations to it. It's fastest loading from all the solutions. Our browser supports even Internet Explorer 8, which is very surprising. But also Cons supports only PDF files and doesn't work on mobile devices, which is pretty bad. And I think it's only considerable on the desktop browsers only, because it doesn't work on mobiles. So, all right. Next thing, Google Docs Viewer is the tool from Google Drive, basically, but it's not supported anymore. So Google likes to throw random errors from their applications when they don't want to support it anymore. So here's the same thing. And the difference is you still use iframes or other inline embedder like embed objects, anything. Just in place of this URL uppercase that I placed there, you paste your URL to your file, basically the same as the last one. But the thing is, pros are many supported file types. I can't even list every of them because there were like 30 or 40. 25 megabytes file limit, which is, I think, pretty much. Works on every popular desktop and mobile browser. So, yeah, I find it very useful. But the biggest con is throws random errors. And I've made many examples. And I'm just refreshing page. And it's like sometimes it show up, sometimes it don't. And it might be very hard to handle it because iframes are just things like to show up your URL, your source, but you cannot get any response from it. So you cannot know that it failed somehow or handle any errors to it. It's just pretty hard. You can show up and don't get any response that it failed, basically. And another con is it's not quite accurate at parsing MS Office file, of course. Yeah, even Google can't understand Microsoft Word. So it may be similar with the when you write your Microsoft Word things for the university or something, and you just move a little bit, a few pixels, your image in your document, and it mess up whole document. Yeah, basically that's what Google Docs Viewer does. Sometimes, not always, but also Google can handle the Microsoft Office. Yeah, and it's not supported anymore, but still works, and it's really very popular in many services. So you might be familiar with things like you want to preview your file somewhere on some web app, and you find that your file doesn't show up or loads too long, etc., etc. Yeah. All right. There's a way to handle it, but I will talk a little bit about it later. The third thing and last one is Office web apps. Basically, it's a similar story. You just extend your file URL with the proper URL to Office apps, as you can see right there. Pros are faster loading than Google. Always successfully display the result. Most accurate docs and PowerPoint's parser, so it doesn't mess up whole document. Cons are supports only Microsoft Office file types, PowerPoint, docs, etc. Pretty small file limit, 10 megabytes for docs, PowerPoints, and 5 megabytes for Excel. And not supported for mobiles basically means it might throw errors on mobiles. And for some of them, it's not even responsible below 700 pixels, so it's useless, I think, for mobiles. But surely it's the best option for Office file types for desktops, because it's the best at parsing them, at least. Yeah. All right. If you would like to get more information about this topic, how to preview your files, get a little more information about each solution, when to use each one, etc. Also, I've put there how to deal with those Google Docs random errors. It's pretty tricky way, but it's possible to handle it and like catch whenever it fails, to repeat the process of refreshing the request to get the parsed file. You can find those information on our Cilia blog. There's my post there. And if you want even more, I've made a pretty simple GitHub page. So you can test out of those approaches there, and also read some more about it. That's all from me. Thank you very much.